This is Mark Sherry, and we're back with the New Music Alliance Radio Hour. And I'm here with Violet Hausthor. And you just heard Our Friends Don't Know by Brian Ember. And starting off that block, we had At Least for Today by Ben Harris. And let's start off with the Ben Harris track. That's a brand new November, 2022 release. And I think the first thing that really struck me about it is the words of that song. They're so, especially after seeing Zelensky from Ukraine on TV, it's so apropos for the war in Ukraine. What the words are, they really hit me. The tune itself, he's got some incredible people on it as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Ben Harris is out of Northampton, Massachusetts, and he really assembled kind of a super group of some of the best players in Western Mass for this album, This Fire, which, as you said, just came out last month. We've got Anand Nayak filling out guitars, keys, and some backup vocals, and production duties, and obviously a true talent. J.J. O'Connell covering on drums, again, brilliant player. You hear the name a lot. Paul Kachansky on bass, you see him everywhere. These are some of the best players you can find, and it's really amazing to see him bring them all together. The album before this, 2021's Dust, was sort of more in the Americana country adjacent style while still having some of those indie folk rock roots. And it's really interesting to see them being taken into a more abstract, on occasion, more indie influenced direction, sort of power pop-ish on occasion. The synth lines and all that. Really cool sound,
Yeah. All of the other musicians you mentioned, we've played them in other bands
many times
on our shows many times. And the next tune, Our Friends Don't Know by Brian Ember out of New Haven, Connecticut. This is definitely an unusual kind of tune. I saw it actually described as Baroque pop.
Yes, it's in the Baroque pop style that was very popular in the 60s and 70s, especially, sort of adjacent to and overlapping with the psychedelic movement, bringing in some of those classical techniques and instrumentation choices. That's why you heard harpsichord on old mod records, part of that. This is off the 2019 record, The New Chastity, that I've been waiting to play for a while, because it's an incredible record that bounces between so many different styles and genres and interesting places, from psychedelic to doo-wop to Baroque pop to, this one, which sounds like it's sort of Queen influenced even. Ember himself often describes this record as a Pink Floyd album if Pink Floyd wrote songs about love and heartache. Whether you hear any of that in the record is entirely up to you. He's also a classically trained composer and singer, and it shows real talent here.
So what do we have for our next block?
The next block, we're going to be delving more into alt-rock, indie rock sort of stuff. Let's start things off with New Day by Robby Baier.